Hello everyone, my name is Simon and I'll be your host for today's webinar brought to you by EURECOM. Today's webinar is titled Boost Your Career with a Master in IT and Telecommunication in a cutting-edge school in Europe's biggest science park. Today you learn about the overview of EURECOM's international research performance and their tight connections with the industry, of course about the admissions procedures and entry requirements to one of the EURECOM study programs. You'll hear about the course content and targeted competences. You'll hear about the services offered to international students, such as career preparation and administration follow-up, and of course about the employment prospects upon graduation. All of that will be followed by an interactive Q&A session where you guys can submit your questions by typing them in through the Q&A panel, which you should be able to find on the right side of our platform. We have a lovely panel of 3 presenters today. We have a professor, we have an international relations manager, as well as a student. Davide Balzarotti is the professor, Carolina Onras is the international relations manager, and Jose Gutierrez Galan, the student. They will kick things off in just a few moments. Let me just navigate their presentation and pass the floor on to them. So guys, the floor should be all yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon. So now we're going to be with you for the next 30 minutes or more if you have questions about our program. So we're going to start with the third slide, introducing ourselves. So my name is Carolina Onras, as Simon said. I'm in charge of international relations. I've been working for EURECOM now for 5 years.
So hi everyone, my name is Davide Balzarotti. I'm a professor in the Digital Security Department. I'm the coordinator for the Master of Science in Computer Security.
Hello, I'm Jose Gutierrez. I'm current student of Mobile Communication Systems here in EURECOM and also president of the Student Association.
Okay, so we're going to start with a few key figures about EURECOM. So EURECOM was created 25 years ago. Actually, we're going to celebrate our birthday this year, 25 years. We're created by EPFL from Switzerland and Telecom Paris Tech. They decided to create a campus dedicated to telecommunications in Sofia Antipolis because as you will see in the next slide, it's a quite pleasant place to live. So as you can see, we're a human-sized school because we only teach at the master's level. We don't have undergraduate level courses. So we have 300 students at the master's level, 20 professors. An important information is that the curriculum is totally taught in English. There is no courses in French. So believe me, in France it's quite unique that we are allowed to teach everything in English. And I guess maybe for you, one of the most important features is that we benefit from 300 days of sun per year because, as you will see in the next slide, we're located in the south of France, which is a very sunny place. Now I leave my colleague introduce briefly our Department of Research and Education.
So yes, so EURECOM is divided in 3 departments. You can see on the right side of the slide there. So data science, communication system, and digital security. So EURECOM is a small research institute, but that allows us basically to focus on few selected topics on which we are actually very good. We can do very good research and teaching and many projects. So the 3 departments, data science, as the name says, focus on data science. So you will learn things like cloud and semantic web and machine learning, for example. In the communication system department, instead, it's focusing more on mobile communication, so 4G, 3G, starting from the theoretical side all the way to the practical part. And the digital security department, instead, is the one where I work. We focus on security, so all aspects of security, covering from the basic security principles to all the more advanced practical security issues. So we do a lot of practical courses there, system security, network security. We also cover different aspects of security applied to different domains. For example, for watermarking. So I think we cover the entire spectrum there of all the security aspects, from the theoretical one to the more practical one to the one applied to different domains, let's say.
Very multidisciplinary approach.
Yeah, exactly. We cover basically, exactly. So crypto, but practical, but also like image processing and audio processing for security.
So now a few words about the location. So EURECOM moved 4 or 5 years ago now on a brand new campus, which is called the Sofia Tech campus. It's being shared with several institutions, such as the University of Nice, we also work there in INRIA, which is the Computer Science Research Institute. So it creates a very stimulating research atmosphere. So as you can see, where we're located, so in the southeast of France, you can see a map with a lot of clouds and rain, but it's always sunny in the south of France. This is not so much of a joke, because it's really, we really benefit from a very nice climate. You can see the temperature all over the year are quite mild, but quite nice. Which is also interesting is that we're not that far from Nice, which hosts the second biggest international airport, so you can have lots of opportunities to travel in Europe. Like our students usually they go for the weekend in Switzerland, Italy, Germany. It's very easy, to travel around while studying with us. It's a very also unique spot for sport lovers because you're very close to the beaches, of course. It's like 30 minutes, and also very close to the ski floats. Like our students, like Jose is going to tell you later, but they organize a ski weekend, for instance, in the winter time. One important information as well is that we're located in the heart of Sofia Antipolis. So Sofia Antipolis is the largest technopark in Europe. You're going to see this in the next slide. You want to introduce the figures a bit?
Yeah, so basically Sofia Antipolis, it's a big technopark. It includes actually a lot of companies. You can see here in the slides over 2,000 different companies. And many of these companies are actually in IT, so it's, in a domain that is close to what we teach and what we, do research here in EURECOM. You can see on the right side of the slide there, some of the companies that have either like an office or typically a research actually branch here in Sofia. Symantec, in particular Symantec Research Lab in Europe, they have an office inside EURECOM, so it's actually part of EURECOM in terms of, we work together in several projects, and, they have their own office here in our department. And but you can see here also other big companies, Cisco, IBM, Fortinet, SAP, etc. So we work a lot with the companies that are located here in Sofia, and we work also a lot with the companies abroad because EURECOM is a consortium and there are many companies that are part of EURECOM. So we also work with many companies in Germany, for example, BMW and SAP, etc. You can see also in the slides that many of the students actually that graduate here from EURECOM, they find an employment here in Sofia. So it's actually a good opportunity not only to work with companies during your studies, but also then to find a job and to remain in the area if you're interested in that.
Yeah, so like you said, it's a thriving environment. Like I just put it on the slide, it's 300 new jobs created per year. So it's a very thriving, dynamic job environment. So if you can even expect working here after your studies. Another important and unique feature of EURECOM is that we're a very international school. How is it illustrated? So first, as I told you before, we have an entirely taught in English curriculum. So you can, of course, learn French, but it's going to be as a subject, as a foreign language. French is going to not be useful to you because it's a very also touristic place, so you can go by without speaking French. We have 70% of professors, because the fact that we teach in English allows us to recruit the best experts in their field because they won't have to teach in French, so they can teach in English. So that really helps us in the recruitment process. So you can see like 11 different nationalities. So it also gives you a new kind of, a new educational approach because the professors, they bring their own, their own methods, their own techniques. So it's also very beneficial for the students. And 70% of international students, for instance, Jose is from Mexico, for instance. So you can see on the map that we have 30 nationalities, a small pool of students, but a lot of nationalities. That also helps you, get some intercultural skills, competences, which are very also sought after by the companies, to how to work in a multicultural environment. Now, a few words about the faculty.
The faculty in EURECOM, as Caroline said before, we have 23 at the moment. We are expanding, so we will soon be like 26 or 27. We're very, very interested in research. So we all teach different courses. So in average, I would say probably 2 courses per faculty, but we also do a lot of research. And that is something that we actually like to involve students in. So also part of the project that the student needs to do typically are with professor on research activities. So you can see here in the slide some numbers. So we publish a lot. If you think that with 23 professors, we have 279 scientific publications, and these numbers are for last year, I think, 2016. So excellent number of publications, very good visibility internationally in different, of course, we participate in world conferences around the world, in the US in particular. So, and you can see at the bottom here of the slide the two ERC grants. These actually are very, very important, very selective, very prestigious grants in Europe. The most prestigious, I think, grant you can get from the European Union. So it's different. It's very difficult actually to get one of them. It's extremely difficult to get some of these grants. So having two of them, you know, with 23 faculty, I think it's absolutely exceptional. It really shows that, you know, the research we're doing here is really
top quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, you see that we're being quoted in international press as well. So I mean, even with 23 professors, we managed to have a worldwide visibility.
Yeah. I think, as I said before, I mean, we work in few selected topics, but we are very well known everywhere in the world on those topics.
So courses benefit from, you know, the latest advances in research, because to keep up to date with the new trends. Now we're gonna introduce the curriculum, so our degree programs. So here you can find a theme of the overall curricula we're offering in EURECOM. We have the first engineering curriculum is mostly for our partner students, because as David said, we work as a consortium, so we have partners in France and in Europe, and this particular program is only for those students from our partner companies. They receive the degree from their own university. The second one is the Master of Science degree. So we have 4 specializations that we're going to introduce right now. Those are recognized by the French state as really like master's degree level. We have also 2 postmaster's degree, which are open to students with a completed master's degree. And of course, we have the PhD degree open to students with a master's degree. So that gives you an idea of what kind of degrees we have. Now, the key facts about the master's program. So as you see, we have 4 specialties. So it's kind of in line with our departments. We have the first one is in data science and engineering. We have one in digital security, which is headed by David. One in mobile computing systems, the one that Jose is currently following. And the latest one, our baby master, I would say, is the Internet of Things. So this is the latest master's degree we launched. So as I said before, they're all fully accredited by a Ministry of French Higher Education and Research. So it means you will be allowed to do a PhD afterwards if you want to. Those degrees are co-delivered with the Institut Telecom, which is a very important and big institution in France, because it gathers all the most prominent engineering school or graduate school in France. So you can have a look after that. So it's like a growing consortium. It's becoming one of the main actors in the field of higher education in France, engineering. The program lasts 2 years, 4 semesters, for a total of 120 ECTS credits. The full cost, as you can see, so it's 11,000 euros for the 2 years and 5,000 euros for EU students. We have an integration program which is free of charge, including and already included. You have French intensive courses, a precious weekend in a very nice place to help you guys go mix with each other. I mean, we're gonna explain that later. Career preparation workshops as well to help you find a job in France or abroad. So everything is included in the piece. So, well, now just a slide to explain what is inside the curriculum. So you can see a graph with different kind of, sharing courses. So as I said before, it's 3 academic semesters, followed by a master thesis in a company or a lab. So I will briefly introduce what kind of courses, what kind of elements are part of the curriculum. So you have compulsory courses, so those obviously are part of the theme. For instance, if you take the data science master, you're going to have to follow a few compulsory courses in data science, of course. Then, which is actually a very relevant feature of our master, is that you have a lot of elective technical courses. Why it's interesting and important for you is that it means, for instance, you take a data science master's, but you can take courses in the other departments. So you can take courses in the mobile field, mobile communication field, or in the digital security field. So for instance, if you're interested in security of data, security of cloud computing, you can mix courses. You have access to a whole range of courses in the catalog. So that helps you make a very, individual curriculum. Something that our students really like as well is the courses in business, project management, innovation. You see, like 15 credits per year. So it's also very interesting for the students because it helps them get the soft skills that are also important to companies. So you're going to be an engineer as well, but you can also get skills to be a good project manager. You also get communication skills. Those are very important in your future career. Then you get the project. So you got 2 projects during the 2nd and the 3rd semester. those are a very good way to get a cutting-edge practical experience, you know, because it's usually, like Davide will confirm, but it's based on industrial cases or research.
Or research, yeah, depends.
Research-oriented. So you're giving basically a list of available topics provided by a professor, and you work under the supervision of a professor in teams or 2 or 3 students. So you have 1 semester to do that. And it's a very hands-on approach, because then usually you have to develop a prototype, or you have to work on an issue, you have to find solutions for an issue, things like this. So this is something that our students also appreciate. Languages, you can study up to 2 foreign languages. So French, I guess, would be maybe one natural choice for you. But you can study Spanish or German or any other languages, provided we have enough students in the language. If it's an exotic language, for instance, we need to have at least enough students. And the master's thesis, which is a very important aspect, is the last semester. It's a paid internship, and we help you. So I'm going to later explain how it works. Now I will introduce briefly the master's in data science and engineering. So what you will learn during these 2 years is, like, you can see the key courses in the first part. So distributed system, cloud computing, machine learning, deep learning, there's all the, you know, the hot topics in the field of data science. You will get very sought after skills, like, because, you know, we are often working with our industrial partners, so we really understand what kind of skills they're looking for in an engineer. So you will be able to develop algorithms, software to extract value out of big amount of data. So you will be able to design cutting-edge tools to be really innovative in this field. And as I said before, thanks to the, you know, the non-technical skills, you will get also soft skills such as managerial and communication skills. So you can see a few on the right side. You can see a few career outcomes of our, you know, students who graduated from this field, and main employers. For instance, you can see Amadeus is a very big player, a big actor in social police, and they really recruit a lot of students, a lot of people in the field of data science and to digital security.
Yeah, they move into security. Yeah.
So now we're moving to the next master.
So so the digital security master, basically, security is a very horizontal topic, right? So you can apply security to almost everything. You can apply security to big data, to, you know, the cloud, to mobile communication. So we actually encourage the student to have this sort of multidisciplinary to work and take courses also from other departments, because, I mean, depends on, you know, which area of IT you're mostly interested in, then you can apply security skills there. So our goal is basically to teach students the basic security concepts. So you will learn how to design a secure system, how to test the system for security, how to identify vulnerabilities, how to exploit vulnerabilities. So let's say the entire security life cycle. And then the same concept would be applied to different examples, different domains that, you know, we propose, of course, different topics, but the student is free also to come out and say, oh, look, I'm interested in the security of, you know, IoT systems, and that we can work on that. So career outcome in security, security is now a hot topic, so it's very easy to find jobs. I think it's, you know, all our students in security, they find job very, very easily, both in the area and internationally. Some of them actually then they move to the US and they find job in the US. And often they get, you know, the, you know, job proposal from the place where they do the internship, because, you know, almost every company now is looking for security experts. And this, depending on, you know, on the student, let's say, interest, could be a security company. So as I said before, we have several security companies in the area, but it could also be other companies, like she said before, Amadeus is not a security company, but they design software systems, so they need security experts for, you know, securing their system, testing their system, do penetration testing, and so forth. So I guess.
Yeah, you can see anyway, you have the list, so you can have to.
Yeah, the list is much longer than what is in this slide.
Anyway. I just put it, the main employers.
Many of our students actually find them, you know, then jobs in startups. So we have several that, you know, that they have, you know, it's a good opportunity, I think. Also now there are many startups in security, and again.
So Antipolis is full of startups. You know, the techno part is hosting a lot of startups. So now Jose is gonna explain studying this the mobile computing system.
So as Caroline said, I'm currently studying in mobile communication system. Like whether you're interested in the lower layers of the communication system, just such as the radio access, for example, or if you're interested in the lower layers, such as network softwareization, like this master offers the possibility of covering all those topics. You will have compulsory topics such as the ones that you can see on the screen, digital communication, radio engineering. but also very advanced topics about MIMO systems or 5G. One of the things that I really like about the master right here is that our teachers are actually the best in 5G technology, not only in France, but at an international level, right? So, for example, when you're taking courses about MIMO, you can be sure that you're learning from the one that really knows what they are doing in the field. For example, they are publishing 3 to 4 publications per year, and they are always like challenging the students to make challenges according to the research field that they are working in that moment. Another thing that is really good about mobile computing systems is that we are getting all these companies coming to the EURECOM each year and each semester, recruiting people, and the image of EURECOM, it's really strong that it attracts the best companies related to the field. I remember this semester we have Orange Hill, that it's the first communication provider here in France, and the great part of the people that they recruit comes from EURECOM, right?
Thank you. Okay. So as I said before, this is our latest born master's program in Internet of Things. So actually this one is interesting because it kind of covers all the fields, data science, security, and mobile. It's kind of like, you know, use all the competencies we have in EURECOM, kind of like mix. So this one will obviously train you in this new booming field of IoT by giving you the right skills, like to give you a good understanding of the application protocols, communication protocols, and yeah, just basically to be able to design the right relevant IoT applications that are really now needed in this demanding field, because it's quite demanding. Yeah, it requires different and various skills that you will be able to obtain here. I mean, if you're ambitious enough and hardworking enough, like, we can provide you with the right environment and skills to get the level demanded by companies. Now I will just introduce the other kind of degrees we have, the postmaster degrees, and then I'm going to finish with the different kind of preparation for renewal and service. So the postmaster degree, it's as I said before, it's open for students with their completed master's program. So for instance, it also targets engineer with experience. So for instance, if you work a few years after your master's degree and you feel that now you need some skills to really level up and to get a competitive edge, that would be a good solution for you, because it's a shorter kind of program. It takes 15 months, so 2 academic semesters followed by a thesis in a company. Both degrees are state recognized they're recognized by the state via the French accreditation board for engineering studies, which is called the CTI in French. It's like engineering title recognized by the state. We have 2 fields. The first one in security and computer system and communications, which is headed by a colleague of Davide, working in the same department. And the second one is related to the mobile communication system. It's communication for intelligent transport systems. So the field of connected mobility, connected vehicles, all the challenges of this field. So it's like 15 months, 3 semesters. It's 90 ECTS. The cost is 12,000 euros for the whole. It's not per year, it's for the whole program, for the 3 semesters, and 6,000 euros for EU students. It includes the same type of integration program, French intensive courses, the French weekend, and all the same services provided for the other students. As you see, the way it works. So you also get technical courses. The fact now you get a longer list of courses. So it does not so much work with compulsory courses. It gives you a list, and then you have more. You have the choice to choose among the technical courses according to your previous experience and what your expectation. You also get the courses in business, project management, the same type of project. So those might be more applied because, like, you were already a master's degree holder, so it could be more applied in this field. You also get the opportunity to learn languages, the same up to 2 foreign languages, and industrial thesis. Also in this has to be done in a company because it's very industry oriented. So the postmaster in security. So
in terms of education, I think it's similar to the master in security. Students will learn the same basic concepts about cryptography, applied crypto, system security. But here the focus is a bit more applied. So the idea is that it's a bit more compressed. It's like 1 year now, and students are more involved in practical projects, for example, because it's more like engineering oriented from this point of view. So again, from a pedagogical point of view, it's similar to the other master, but it has a slightly different focus, a more applied focus. You will actually do projects for the entire duration of the study in this case, and several of these projects come from industry also in collaboration with the professor here at EURECOM.
The idea is that you get operational quicker,
Yeah,
operational.
Exactly. So you should have a radio background in this case, in maybe computer science in general, or it should be more engineering, let's say, oriented your background already, and so we can take advantage of that and try to do more practical projects, more
more
hands-on exercises and things like this.
Now the second postmaster, so it's in I said before, communication for ITS, it's also called the cooperative ITS programs. So it really tackles all the issues now related to connected vehicles. Now it's like more and more national and international incentives to improve the safety, to improve traffic. So this is a very challenging and very important new technology to be able to ensure the safety of passengers. So this goes with the connected vehicles, also going towards the autonomous vehicles. So also a booming field with a lot of prospects, professional prospects. So the idea is also to give you in 2 semesters the right skills to be able to design, to implement the right applications, to ensure like it's written on the slide, traffic safety, traffic efficiency, and also everything which is related to comfort and infotainment, because now the cars work more and more like a bit like your smartphone, so you need to be able to also design all this environment, which is now sought after by the consumers, by the new drivers. So you can see a few of the career outcomes and a few of the targeted employers, auto manufacturers, auto suppliers, also big technology company. Google is investing a lot in this. Orange, our partner, is also interested and involving in this field. So yeah, something with a lot of prospects in this career prospect in this field. So now I guess we might be a bit quicker on the next slides. So the idea is just to show you now what kind of services you will benefit if you study with us. So one of the first features we wanted to stress is that you will also benefit from innovative learning methods. So professors, they usually develop their own customized platform. For instance, in data science, they implemented their own cloud platform, which is called Zoe. It's been first implemented in the framework of a European research contract, and now it's still being used by the students. The mobile communication department have their 5G open air interface, which is attracting a lot of attention from international university and companies, because it works also as a consortium. So we welcome companies and universities to contribute to this interface. So you can have a look on the website of this interface. So it's really growing, both in visibility and also with industrial partnerships. They're working, on the new technology, 5G technology. We're also using software, like for instance in cloud computing, they're using the Jupyter software. In security, you can say a few words about the kind of activities students are encouraged to do.
Yeah, we play a lot of CTF competitions, so I don't know if you're familiar with that. In general, a security competition for students, and also not just for students, so we also compete against some professionals in this area. We run our own hacking group as part of our activity, so students typically join the hacking group after the classes around 5-6 p.m. once a week, and then we try to participate to this competition, and we're typically very good at that.
Yeah,
so
national, international.
Yeah, we're mostly ranking first in France and international in several competitions. Yes, and this is very good for students because it's fun, and they can students can learn new skills and can work together with PhD students, so they can PhD students tend to teach them new techniques and new security skills, etc.
And now we introduce a new feature that will start filling the courses to be able to give you access to replay it. So it could also give you a good opportunity to replay the courses to be very sure you make the best use of it. Back. Something that we really put a premium on is the hands-on approach, to really enhance your future employability. So, for instance, you have guest speakers from the industry.
We have guest speakers from several industries in our courses. Many courses have their own system for running homework or challenges, so very applied, exercises. We have labs, so many courses have, a number of labs, I mean, 2, 3, 4 labs during the start. Of course, to have everyone working in a lab, but we have practical, I guess, exercising on real cars, on real systems, and it depends on the course year. But I would say that most of the course year they really develop their own systems to have students, work hands-on on the real thing, let's say. Yeah.
And since we are located in the Society, it's also very convenient for us because we can organize visits in nearby companies. I don't know, Jose, you've been to a company?
Yeah, a couple of labs in security also.
We organized a couple of visits in the last few weeks also. It's very nice. I mean, companies are interested, of course, in students because they want wire, and students are interested to see the labs of companies, so we organize those kind of visits.
Yeah, you're introduced to the latest technology of the company, so it's interesting to you. So, one of the pieces that our students really like in our degree program is the THESIS, which is called in France internship stage. How does it look like? So it's the last semesters of the program of both postmaster and master degree. It's 6 months. And it's a paid internship because actually if you study in France it's legally compulsory to pay interns. So you will have an allowance if you do an internship in France. We help you find an internship because we provide you with an updated database of internship opportunities. So thanks to our huge network of mutual partners, they provide us a lot of internship opportunities, so you can just apply through this software. So we have a platform, and you just put your CV, your motivation letter, and it's going directly to the companies. We have both opportunities in France and abroad. So, for instance, we have students who went to Germany, Austria, go to Europe.
Even the US.
Even the US, yeah. As I said, you receive an allowance. So the figures with the average allowance students received last year. So it's 1,100 euros a month. So you can see, for instance, this last semester, it allows you to support yourself, to support your costs. And if you choose carefully your internship, it can even go to employment. So some students, they land an employment thanks to the internship, because for their companies, it's a good way to test a bit like the future employee. So they hire you for 6 months, you're really unemployed like an employee, you're really doing the same kind of work as a full-time employee. And if everything is going well and they have the right opportunities, then you can be given a career, a job with that position. That happens often, as you said.
Very often, yeah, in my experience. Yeah.
And you can see some of the companies there who hired our students. So to help you find this right position, we provide you with a career preparation workshop. So we invite speakers from the industry or from specialized agencies, which help you write a compelling CV, compelling motivation letter, because in France it works differently than in your country. So we help you understand the cultural, cultural side, cultural features of those two things. We're also organizing internship forums, you've been to the one in Society and one in Paris as well. So there is 2 big forums where you can meet companies face to face. So it's a good opportunity to exchange your CV as well and to speak with those companies. Now, let's team with an overall study about graduation prospect of both master's and postmaster degree. What you need to know if you're from a non-EU country, it's important for you to know that in France you're allowed to work, you're allowed to stay 1 year after your study. So for instance, you graduate from your master's degree and you're entitled, or a postmaster degree, and you're entitled to receive a 1-year extension. We help you obtain these documents, and then thanks to that you are given time to look for a job. So it's important for you to know that there is this, this process that helps you stay in France to look for a job. So you can see that actually many of our graduates stay in France. So most of them actually in Society, but also in Paris. Then one quarter come back to their country, and another 60% works in other Western countries like the US or Germany, England. And current positions, those are basically the current position that you can find in ICT field. A substantial number of them goes on PhD studies. Some of them even stay with us. Yeah. They're PhDs. They like EURECOM so much that they don't want to leave, so they stay to do a PhD with us. So it depends on the opportunities, of course.
Yeah, I think it's possible to do the internship in EURECOM as well.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're really interested in doing a PhD, you can even start already during your internship, basically, to do research. And there are several cases of students that stay as a PhD student. Yeah.
Jose is going to introduce,
Yeah.
like in September, we're organizing this.
Yeah, first of all, EURECOM, it's really multicultural experience. You can find whatever country you can think about here. So part of the thing the EURECOM does to really merge it with the French culture is this intensive French courses that take place in September, actually. They are really good to get the introduction to the French language because here in Sophia Antipolis you can speak English, but obviously as you're in France, it would be really helpful to have some French. One good thing about this intensive courses is that they take you to Nice, to Antibes, to do some local visits there, to get to know the culture, the French culture, so you can better integrate to the French culture at the end. Right?
Nice food as well.
Nice food as well.
Well, as an international student, you might need some help in the future with their administration in France. So this is why it's important for you to know that we have this student office department. The human side of EURECOM allows for a great availability of both professors who can be easily accessed and also the staff. So you can see our student support team. So all nice ladies working perfectly English, open all day. I mean, within working hours, of course, but we're open all day to help you with any question you have about accommodation or doctors, internship. We really help you. It creates a very comfortable atmosphere. So I know that it's something that our students really like, to be able to survive, you know, the French administration.
Okay, so I'm sure you're really gonna love the teaching here, but I'm pretty sure that you're gonna love better the student life here, actually, in Sophia Antipolis. The location couldn't be perfect, more perfect actually. We're really close to the beach. We're really close to the mountains. So the student association it's always organizing some kinds of events, like going to the beach, weekend of ski, for example. If you're interested in EURECOM and you come, there is also a freshers weekend that we organize. It's a lot of people there, a lot of activities, a lot of fun. And we are always encouraging the creation of new clubs, for example. And as I said before, for example, every weekend there are some people that go skiing, that go hiking. There are some other people that take advantage of the airport in Nice and go to other places in Europe. So actually, the student life here, it's really live. It's a lot of fun over here. And as part of the student association, we are always trying and encouraging new events.
Okay, guys, now we're going to finish just 2 more slides. So I just want to sum up with the top 5 persons to study with us. So as you understand, we are a very international school, so you're going to be studying in France, but with a very international atmosphere, with both international professors, international students, that really helps you work with different perspectives. The location, as Jose just said, is a very nice location. You can combine high quality study and leisure, because you're in a very nice environment. Flexibility and relevance of the curriculum, because as understood, you can design your own curriculum with a lot of elective courses that really helps you have a large span of courses. The quality, you know, professors are really recognized experts in their field, so you will benefit from their latest advances. And the size, that EURECOM is very, we try to make it a comfortable atmosphere to be available for you. Now, technical information about the requirement and how to apply. So for master's degree, we want you to have a bachelor's degree in a relevant field, such as like computer science, electrical engineering, applied math. If you want to apply for a postmaster degree, you need a master's in the same field. A B2 level in English is required. Application is 100% online. We don't charge any application fee, so it's free to apply. And we have 2 more sessions if you want to apply for September. We have 1 session in April and 1 in May, 1 in June. And selection criteria are just like the usual one: the grades, reputation of your school, your motivation. It's very important to know, to understand your motivation, and your future prospect, your future professional project. And then you just get like some interesting links to, well, if you want to go further and learn a bit more about EURECOM. So now just pack your suitcase, and I hope you're going to join us soon to share with us a unique life experience. Thank you.
Thank you indeed, Carolina, Davide, and Jose, for your part of the presentation. But actually, your part hasn't ended yet. We'll be now taking on a couple of questions where our audience members can submit them by typing them in through the appropriate panel, which now you should be able to the right side of the platform. In fact, we do already have a couple of questions submitted. two of them quite similar, from, I believe, from Chisholm and Uche, asking what if they don't have the appropriate educational background from IT, especially Uche also saying if they can sort of compensate this with having more work experience from the appropriate field.
Well, it depends what kind of field they have, because what they consider as not appropriate, we don't know.
So yeah, I mean, here we only teach, you know, the last years in the university, so we don't really have any introductory course in computer science. We do have a few courses that are designed to try to level up the, you know, the different backgrounds, because obviously we have students from everywhere in the world. So there are students that are more strong in the, you know, theoretical side, mathematics, for example. Students that are more strong in maybe programming. So we do have a few courses that they try to teach you the basics, which will not be the basic of computer science, but at least the basic skills that are required by other courses here in EURECOM, so we can basically level up all the students. But you need to have some background, I guess, at least in, you know, computer science.
And math, you know, math.
Yeah, and math. Well, it depends on the, it really depends.
Yeah, one comment about it, for example, one friend of mine, she studied civil engineering, you know. However, she really had a strong background in mathematics and some background in programming, and she's doing right now really, really good. And I mean, it was not probably the easiest thing at the beginning, but right now it's getting really better. So I wouldn't say it's.
No, I think a background in engineering would be okay.
Yeah. Of course, if you have a background in design or literature, politics, but as long as it's like technical.
Yeah,
math is important.
Actually, Chisholm has a background in environmental engineering, he said.
Well, we would need to see how much he studied, math and.
Well, yeah, that
depends.
depends.
Have some computer science in those kind of. It would depend, on the amount of relevant courses, I would say, such as math or.
Typically, at least it depends on the country also. I mean, you know, where I'm from, all the engineering, you know, branch follow the same few years at the beginning, so they all have the same background. That will be enough, I think, for EURECOM, like some background in computer science, some background in mathematics and physics, so that will be okay.
Yeah, we have students for physical background, like
physics, that's also typical. There are many people in computer science, actually, they come from physics or mathematics, so that's okay.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's see, before actually addressing the next question, we also have a few questions in the form of a poll that I just opened. We would really appreciate having your feedback. As you can see, we have actually 3 short questions. The last one is just a comment-based. If this session makes you more interested in one of the programs, if perhaps you're considering to apply to one of the programs. And then the third one, if yes, we would like to know which one and which intake. And when, and then you can also leave us with your impression. If there's some more information you'd like to receive, you can utilize that 4th one. Please just make sure to click on that submit button within the polling panel in order to finalize your answers, otherwise your effort will be lost. So thank you very much for doing so. Now let's go back to the Q&A. I have a couple of questions that is of course regarding the available scholarships and more specifically, if there is perhaps any financial support provided, and if you could give them a bit more information about the partial scholarships.
Well, actually, if you go on their master on the webpage of each degree program, you can have access to a document which is called the financial guide. This financial guide document kind of sums up everything that is available for you to apply. So we have partial tuition fee waiver, which is like a discount on the overall tuition fee. This is a competitive process, so you need to have we have a separate application. So you really need to have good ranking, good grades to accept this partial tuition fee waiver. We also have now allowances from an institution which is called LabX. This is really actually oriented towards research. So you need to already have a bit of research experience, or at least really take a strong taste for research, because we are a research institution. So this also provides an allowance. So this is what we have at the moment. So I really strongly encourage you to look at this guide, because it also explains all the steps to apply. And they also give you access to a guide which is called a Campus Boost, like from the French institution Campus France. They're listing all the available scholarship in your country. For instance, if you're from India, there is what we call the Shafak scholarship that's provided by the French embassy. So you can have a look at that. French embassies are providing scholarships, sometimes companies as well. So I strongly encourage you to have a look at this financial guide. It's on the slide, actually. I put the, sorry, 10 minutes access to, well, you can see additional information. There is a link to the financial guide, so I encourage you to have a look at that.
Thank you very much. Let's see, the next question is regarding accommodation. If you help them find accommodation, and also what are the costs involved. So I guess we can sort of summarize the question. How is accommodation taken care of, and what are perhaps the monthly living costs in France? Perhaps we can even ask Jose this.
Okay. Yeah, actually for accommodation, as Carolina already said, we have a group here in the EURECOM dedicated to helping students find accommodation. Most of the times, the students here stay in a student residence close to Sofia. Some of them are managed by the state, and some of them are private. And depending on which one you choose, it's the price that you would be paying. I would say that the average for paying for a residence would go from 300 to 550 for lodging here. But also there is an important thing to notice, that the French government actually gives you some help for paying for housing, right? So actually this could be the average, but the French government gives you some money to pay for your housing. And there are other people living, for example, in departments in Antibes. It depends on which kind of housing you're looking at the end, but the prices could be around that amount, between 300 and 550 in average. So
now, yeah, we implemented last year a new platform that works like Airbnb a bit, and we give you access to this platform, and we here list all the opportunities we have from private landlord to students' residence.
Yeah. There are many villas around here, but
yeah, you can share it.
You can stay in a residence, or you can also, I mean, there are many students that do that, right? Mm-hmm. They rent a big villa with swimming pool, and they share it like maybe 5-6 students, and the parties are done there, so that's also important. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Then I have a question from Majid. Hope I pronounced the name correctly. If the master degrees are national degrees?
Yeah, it's totally recognized by the French state. It's been accredited with their, as I said before, the Institut Mines Telecom, and Institut Mines Telecom and EURECOM have been accredited by the French Ministry of Higher Education and Research to deliver a master's degree. So it's totally recognized by the state, and you will be totally allowed to do a PhD study, for instance, and it's going to be recognized as a master level.
Good news. Thank you very much. Let's see, a simple question from Isaac, if there's any age limit for applying?
Age limit? Well,
no.
Well, you need to be aware, actually, the average age of our students in master's program, I think it's 25, 24.
I would say 24, 23, 24.
26. Post-master degree as a target, more experienced people, you can be, we have older applicants.
Yeah.
So,
but I wouldn't worry too much about the age, because I have some friends here studying in EURECOM that are 33, 34 years old.
That's my age.
So yeah, I mean, we're students from 20 years old, no, 22 years old, all the way till 33, 34 years old. So
no, there is no
no restriction.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's see, the next question is coming in from Sprit, asking, how about part-time work opportunities?
Part-time, this is a sensitive question, I would say, because, well, technically, you're with a French student visa, you're allowed to work 20 hours per week, but we do actually discourage students to work, because the workload is, what you can confirm, is pretty intensive. So if you start working, it can be very detrimental to your studies. And it might not be so actually easy to find a part-time job if you don't master French, because, well, I said you can survive without French here, but to work, for instance, if you want to work, it depends where you want to work, but yeah, French might be required at some point. So, I mean, this is not something that our students do. Sometimes they find research opportunities during the summer.
That's
you can
right.
have this kind of things, because there is research institutes nearby. but most of the time, no, they do not work. I mean, you can teach private lessons.
That's right.
Some of our students, they teach private lessons.
Actually, some of the students, what they are doing is some of their time they teach private lessons, for example, to other schools. But I mean, it's not considered as a part-time job, right? What would be more interesting, for example, is what Caroline told about the summer internships. The EURECOM receives a lot of information about summer internships. The Student Association also receives internships offers. So that would be a good option. Like honestly, talking the load of work, it's hard. It's not that simple. And if you're planning to work, it would be better in summertime, for example.
Thank you very much to all. Let's see. I have a good question from Freud. He's from Brazil, but I think this might be useful to a broader audience today. He would like to know if they can pay for the degree sort of in installments, or does it have to be all in one?
Yeah, actually, you can pay in 2 installments. The first part is to be paid in October, and second part is going to be paid later in January. So there is possibility to pay in installments. Yes.
Thank you very much.
And I just want to remind that the price indicated is for the whole master. It's 11,000 for the 2 years. It's not for 1 year. Because I know in many countries, for Scandinavian countries, for 1 year this price. Now for us, it's for the 2 years. So you pay once, and we won't ask anymore to repeat the second year.
Also good news. Thank you very much. And now reverting back to the previous question, or actually your answer regarding internships. This just in from Allah, wanting to know if it's possible to have a paid summer internship after the first year, sort of for like 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah, but I just want to spread that it's not so common anyway.
Yeah, you need
it's not so common.
For a summer internship, you need some French. Let's say it's more common to find some internships in French. However, we do receive some like few internship options in English also that covers the 3 months that they are paid. But I mean, they are not that not like a lot, right?
Yeah, the main paid internship is in the second year. I mean,
so the 6 months
yeah.
Thank you very much. So far, we've addressed every question apart from one more from Yasprit. And at this point, I would like to do a call to action to our attendees. I'm guessing you've joined today's live session to take full advantage. So please do submit your questions. Now would be the time. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up the session shortly. So let's see. Yasprit has a bit more specific question, saying that he has done his bachelor's in computer application and has also done training in CCNA, worked as level 1 support engineer, and is looking forward to pursue his master's in digital security. I'm guessing he's asking for his eligibility here.
So what was the study, sorry?
Yeah, we didn't
bachelor in computer application, training in CCNA, and also has work experience as level 1 support engineer.
Yeah, but he has a bachelor or a master?
A bachelor in computer application.
Yeah, but a bachelor in environment science?
A computer application.
Yeah, that's
that's
perfectly right. Yeah, that's actually, I think, it's the perfect type for the perfect profile for our master. Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, some practical experience, which is definitely a plus, and we, students have practical experience. Actually, there, we can really exploit that and put that to use, and if you fit the.
Yeah, we're used to, because we've been running, a master's program for international students for more than 10, 15 years now, and we know that in some countries, students usually work after the bachelor's degree. So we have a lot of students with experience, from Latin America, usually students to get this.
Yeah, actually, in my case, I worked for 4 years before coming to the EURECOM. So yeah, most of some of the students have that working background.
It's definitely a plus, I would say. So.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let's see, we do have some more questions submitted. Fee is asking if they can apply for both the LABEX UCN scholarship and the EURECOM Excellence Scholarship.
It's possible. It's different application, but yes, because one is an allowance, so basically you're given a sum of money, and the second one, you are institution fee, which are decreased. So yes, it's possible.
Thank you very much. Let's see, one more question regarding internships. Osgood is asking if you can guarantee an internship for the master's programs.
Well, guarantee, it depends how we, of course, students have to make some effort, because in the end, you'll be the one convincing the company. I mean, we won't go with you to the interview with the company. What we do is that we provide you the right contacts, the right tool and software to apply, but then you may understand that you will need to, to run the interview and be convincing as well. You need to follow our advice for CV and motivation letter. Because, one of the most common mistakes some students make is that they use the same cover letter for everyone. So they want standardized cover letter and they send to 10 companies. This is not the right way to do. So you need to really listen to our advice to write a customized motivation letter, and you won't have any problem. I mean, we never have problem to.
No.
Sometimes for students it takes longer because, they're not really following our advice from the beginning, and then once they start following their advice, they find their internship.
And actually, it's mandatory to take this internship to graduate, so everybody has to take it. And
without internship, you cannot graduate.
But I think it's a bit more than we don't just provide with the contact. I mean, we provide you with the topic. I mean, it's more like, the companies come here to EURECOM and they propose internship and say, oh, we're looking for, 2 students doing this and this. So there is a description of the internship, what kind of students they're looking for, what they expect, etc. And so basically then students sort of, applies to this internship, but it's a bit more that, just giving you the contact and you need to write to them and try to find something yourself. I mean, it's really, a process which is very well organized, and I don't know any case that the student, couldn't find an internship.
No.
Actually, typically the students interview with several, different companies, and then they pick the one that they like the most. So I would say that the most common case is you will have many opportunities and you will need to pick one. More than, you won't have any and you need to look for it. That's right.
Thank you once again, guys. 2 questions from Esprit. If they have to send a letter of recommendation from their college, and I see he has some experience, if you remember, would it be considered, he's saying that if he proves with the letter of recommendation from his last 2 companies written by the managers?
Yeah, that's perfect.
We do require, it's compulsory to have at least one letter from our academic supervisor. So one is compulsory from the university, because we need to assess your academic performance. The second letter, can be written by an industrial supervisor. So and if you got 2, why not? It's, but it won't maybe make much plus. We just require 2 letters. So one academic and one, industrial. It's good.
Actually, Esprit might have a problem getting the letter of recommendation from the university. He's saying that it's been years since he left college, doesn't have any contacts anymore.
Well, actually, we had this, so in this case, we use, industrial partnership, because of course then after some time it's not even relevant to ask a professor, so it's not so relevant. So in this case, we might.
In this case, I think 2
from the company, from the latest, someone who is still able to assess freshly the skills.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see, another question from Fee regarding the visa. Fee is already in France and has a question regarding the application form. I'm guessing Fee is applying. And what does he answer to the question if he needs a visa? Would it be a yes or a no for him already being in France?
Sorry, I'm not sure I got the questions.
So I'm guessing that Fee is already applying through the online application. And already being in France, what would his answer to the question if he needs a visa? Would he answer yes or no to that question?
I guess it depends if he needs a visa.
Where he comes
from. I mean, it depends what kind of their mission of, now he has to stay in France. Is it like in France now as a tourist or?
If it's a short-term visa, you obviously need a new visa. If it's not, even if he has a long-term visa, but which is not a student visa, I'm afraid you will have to go back to a country and ask a long-term visa.
Okay, thank you very much. Perhaps let's wait for Fee to follow up. Has a scientific visa, Justin?
Scientific visa?
I don't know what is a scientific visa in France.
What for a researcher? That's yeah. It depends also on the place he is, but usually when you change the status of the visa, you might have to come back. But this is a question actually we can, because they keep changing, sometimes the rules. So if it's already a long-term visa, well, I mean, you can ask the question by email. We can, ask our contact in the authorities, competent authorities, and get the right answer for that.
Yeah, I think that's not super important for the application itself.
No, for the application, no. I just the thing is, I would need to be sure to be able to stay in France in September. So that,
yeah, for the application, I mean, you can mark either yes or no, and then send an email in which explain in detail the problem.
Thank you very much, guys. So let's see, sort of a similar question from Lucas. Has double European citizenship, but having finished his bachelor degree outside of Europe, is he eligible to apply as a EU student?
Yeah, of course, EU student with the nationality, with the passport. So as long as he has the EU, yeah, he's treated as an EU student. It's the passport that matters.
Thank you very much. Let's see. Raj Kiran is asking, what is the minimum percentage in a Bachelor of Technology to apply for a Master's in Digital Security?
It depends where you're from, because grading system, GPA, the GPA. Well, this is actually also it's not so easy to answer that question, because basically we will look at the subject, because you can get for instance, a correct GPA, but for instance, bad grade in math, or the other way around. You can get a good bad GPA, but a very good grade in math. So
I don't think there is a minimum. I mean, everything counts. So obviously, everything at the end is important. But we will look at the entire application. So we have cases of students that maybe they didn't have a very good GPA, but they had some practical experience. They did some very good projects on the topic. They were very motivated. So
that counts.
It depends. I mean, I don't think there is a minimum threshold.
It's very important, like if you, for instance, you run some relevant project, I don't know, like you did a kind of part-time job or a project with a company, that's very interesting to mention that. It's not like asked from the beginning, but if you see on the application platform, you have the optional case, and then you can use that optional part to upload any kind of documents you have that might be relevant. So it's very interesting for us to see that. Just to go beyond just the GPA.
And then depends on the courses. I mean, some cases, some students are really interested in security and programming. They have excellent grades on those courses and not very good grades in the rest. Well, obviously, we will look at these cases.
A related question here is just in from Allah. If the last year grades are the only criteria for being admitted, or does a motivation letter also count?
Everything counts. Everything counts, and
okay.
So we will evaluate case by case, I think, and and see.
Thank you very much. Sort of a related question for the admissions process. Yaspreet is asking if they have to get their documents A-tested, he's saying, and translated into French.
Which document? The application document?
I presume it's the application documents, yeah?
No, we accept them in English as well, English and French.
I'm not sure quite what Yaspreet means with the documents being A-tested.
A-tested?
Yeah. Perhaps certified somehow?
Yeah, I mean, when you have to provide a copy of your degree certificate and transcript, we need to make sure the copy is authentic to the original. So this, we usually require that the copy is signed, for instance, by the university sign, and there is a stamp of the person who signed. Right? For instance, if there is any doubt on our side, you can contact the person to make sure that the degree is authentic, that the copy is authentic and the degree as well.
Thank you very much. And now going back to Fee's question, if you remember, I believe that Fee was applying the one with the question regarding the visa, asking if there's a form of financial statement in the application itself.
For the financial statement document, no, we don't have any like settled form. It's just a letter that students write themselves, and they need to explain in it how do they intend to finance the living costs and the tuition fees. It's important for us because we want to make sure students are aware of the full cost of 2 years in France and tuition fees. So this is really to help you think over whether you can, you have the means or the resources to afford the 2 years in France, because this is also a condition of success.
Yeah.
To study in the right conditions, So.
And also to get the student visa, it's mandatory to prove that you have the resources to stay the 2 years in France. So also because of that.
Thank you very much. Let's see. Actually, this has been answered verbally, but I believe Kiran joined us a bit later. Would you guys mind doing a quick recap? He's asking if they need to send an offer letter of their employers from their previous work experience.
Well, it's not compulsory. I mean, it depends how many letters you already have. For us, what we basically want is one letter from a professor, and one from another professor, or one from an industrial supervisor. It could be the last year one, or 2 years, not too old, because of course if you, I don't know, a company has been 10 years ago, it's not so relevant. But last year experience, yeah, why not? There's nothing against it. For you, it's just the more relevant, the one with whom you worked the more.
Thank you very much. I'm saving Alessandro's question as the last one, as I believe that will be a good one to wrap this session up. We're going to address one more before actually wrapping it up. Mohammed already has a master's in software engineering coming from Iran, and would like to know if you can apply for a master's either in digital security or in data science with you guys.
Well, there is no contradiction. I mean, in having if you already have a master's degree, at least you have, you have the right, at least the right background. No, we have master's.
Yeah, I started with software engineering before switching to security, so I think it's actually a perfect natural transition.
And we have master students who already have a master. Of course, it's maybe better for some if the field, of course, corresponds to do a postmaster degree because it's kind of continuation. But we have students with a master's degree who do another one with us because, yeah, they want to change the field or they want to specialize. We have as well, yeah.
Thank you very much. And now actually addressing our last question today. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time, but here we go with Alessandros. He would like to know what are the prospects for EURECOM's future. Do you plan to open new posts, new master programs, and expand into other research fields?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, I guess, I mean, the plan for EURECOM is not to grow too much. So I think we want to remain small, but, small in the sense of, what we have now. As I said at the beginning, we're growing in terms of faculties, so we are in new, faculties. And of course, when we hire new faculties, we hire them, based on strategic decision for, the topics that we want to expand and the things that we want to cover. So yes, there is obviously, desire to grow and to explore new areas. But for the moment, I think in terms of the three main departments and fields, I think, those three, I don't think they will change very soon in the future. I don't know.
But for STEC, actually, we might get new, we're always looking for new partners in our consortium, because as you understand, we have a consortium. It means that we have both companies and universities in our direction board. So, for instance, we're working with TU Munich, with NTNU in Norway, Aalto University. They're both like stakeholders. That means they contribute to our activity and our budget. So we obviously always interesting to find new partners like this.
Yeah, those ones they change
regularly. And new industrial partners. Now, actually, we're also growing in terms of students number because, as our visibility grows, our attractiveness to students as well. So, but yeah, we still.
I mean, there is always the advantage that being small, we can change quickly, right?
Yeah,
so, I mean, we're very flexible. We're not a very big university where changes takes forever because of the bureaucracy. So we're small, we can change fast. We had recent changes, actually, several of them. Maybe moving, a bit away from networking and focusing more on data science. And so there were some strategic decisions and they were applied very fast because we're small and so we can do that. Now, I can't tell you what would be the next department that's
We're trying to fill the, trying to fill the air.
No, and actually what it's really interesting is that EURECOM follows the tendency of industry. And for example, right now that the IoT, it's really growing. That's why the EURECOM decided to start this master in this new program. And what I've noticed, for example, in mobile communication is that new courses are open like each semester, just following the tendency of industry. For example, to give an example, right now, a new course of network softwareization that it's a trending topic, it was just opened this semester. So the EURECOM is always trying to innovate its courses, and I'm sure that if there is a new tendency in the industry, it will change.
Yeah, well said. That's another big advantage, I think, of EURECOM is that every professor can change and modify the course every year, basically. So we have really professors that they follow the new, trends, and they decide, okay, next year I will just change the course and focus on this topic. And this is not typically possible in big universities.
For us, you need to know that it's important for us to have a research contract because it's a substantial part of our budget. And to get a research contract, you need to be really ahead almost of the trend. You need to be really flexible, you need to be relevant, you need to have the right skills. So
yeah, just to finish, for example, trending topic is 5G, so most of the professors they have to change the course from last semester because technology is changing every day, so they have to adapt the courses. So you can be sure that the courses that you're taking, it's going to cover the trending topics in technology.
Thank you very much, guys. Unfortunately, it's time to wrap today's session up. But firstly, allow me to thank our audience members for joining. I hope that this session was informative, that some of you are considering to apply to one of the programs offered by EURECOM, and moreover, that you get admitted. So best of luck with your future study endeavors. And of course, a special thank you to today's lovely panel of three, Davide, Caroline, and Jose. Thank you very much for taking the time, for sharing your expertise. Perhaps any last-minute closing comments before we say goodbye?
No, thank you very much for hosting us and give us this opportunity to talk to a wide audience of students. So we hope to see
you here. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much this time to all of the participants. And this is Simon signing off by wishing you guys perhaps a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening from wherever you may be. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.